Swinky, what do we got here?
We're setting up the marinade for jerk chicken. And so I got a bunch of spices and seasonings. We're getting some jalapeno and scallions in that blender over there, and then we're gonna set up these drums and thighs for the evening.
For the cook-off
It'll be
tomorrow.
overnight. Yeah, it's gonna be for tomorrow.
Chef Wagner, how are you preparing?
Playing Candy Crush. So I got 2 bags of chicken here. We got our Jamaican jerk marinade, scallions, garlic, a bunch of spices.
Clayton.
We got a little steak enchiladas cooking right now. We're gonna go ahead and sear out the truffle roast. Once we get a nice little, I guess, meat sauce in the pan, we're gonna cook the veggies in there.
Meat sauce for you, pal.
Finish it, and then finish it off in the oven for about 3 hours long. So, right, you're gonna just take a look. We're gonna finish it off with some beef broth. We got some onions and garlic in there with the seared beef. A little bit of beef broth, about, I don't know, what kind of meat? I guess I'll eat it. Maybe a little, yeah, a little more. I just want to see how it shreds.
All right, what are you preparing here, Chef?
Right now I'm getting this started. This is gonna be one of the longer operations. It's Jamaican peas and rice. And so we got some kidney beans we're opening up. We're gonna add some coconut milk in there, and it should be a delicious, carby blend. I'm making plantains. Never done this before.
Why shouldn't I make plantains?
Fuck this guy, bro. Very transparent about that.
I'm gonna shred and then broil, and then.
But his chicken's in there. What are you gonna do with the broil?
I'm gonna broil.
All right, judges, what are you looking forward to today with the competition?
You know, I'm really hoping that each contestant is able to stretch our view of them as a chef. I think we're all coming in with a few preconceived notions.
Okay.
But really hoping to see them step up to the task at
We like
hand.
the looks of the crisp. We like the crispiness, you know? We like the crispiness.
Okay.
Changes now?
I'm done with it. Well, I'm done with it
Let's
for now.
do.
I'm
Yeah.
done with it for now. Now we're gonna start rolling. We're gonna start rolling. We like the crispiness.
Okay.
Changes now?
I'm done with it. Well, I'm done with it
Let's
for now.
do.
I'm
Yeah.
done with it for now. Now we're gonna start.
These are
You
your
ever need
plates.
another strawberry daiquiri?
What are we looking at here?
So before you, we have a plate of Jamaican jerk chicken, a side of plantains fried, along with a nice little pile of rice and peas in coconut milk, with a light green onion garnish, and you guys have a little bit of lime to sprinkle on all of that if you guys would like. Thank you so much.
Looks great.
Enjoy.
Yes, chef.
How's the rolling
You know,
process
it's
going?
not great. I got these cheap Mission tortillas. They're kind of fucking me over a little bit. I'm a little worried, but I'm hoping that once they go in the oven, they'll kind of, and I put the sauce on it, that will be good.
Scoping out the competition.
Just trying to see what they got going on here. Let's see.
You have meetings like every month.
Okay.
Let me take a look.
Look like enchiladas.
How's it looking, Chef?
Well, see for yourself, sir.
That's pretty good.
So, enchiladas, we got a green sauce and a red sauce with topped with some nice garnish, avocado, cilantro, and sour cream. But the star is really the meat, you know? That's what I really work for.
Okay.
That's a 3-hour fucking cheap Mission tortilla. Didn't make
Is this a Safeway Mexican blend cheese that you eat?
For taste and flavor from 0 to 10, I scored John an 8. Chicken was seasoned well. Rice was a little bit bland, but obviously salt helped, but I feel like it could have been incorporated into that in the beginning. The plantains were nice and crispy, so overall, taste 8.
Yes. So for the taste, I gave Jose a 7. So the rice was undersalted. The plantains were actually severely overcooked. Chicken was seasoned very well, but the seasoning also needs to be applied under the skin on the actual meat because the skin of the chicken is pretty thick, so it's not penetrating it. And then for Clayton, I gave you an.
No, chill, bro, chill. All right, Myth.
I gave John an 8 overall. Chicken was good, but like other judges have mentioned, I expected a little bit more of a punch in the actual chicken meat. Plantains were a little overcooked. I think it largely came down to which were plated. And rice was very hit or miss with the bottom of the volcano lacking flavor.
All right. I just want to start by saying to John that it was a really bold choice to start with to make chicken because it's not as forgiving as I'm sure you're aware. That being said, it was cooked perfectly. It was very moist, not dry at all. And I think it could have done with being marinated overnight. I don't know if that was the case.
It was.
It was. All right. Well, then, anyways, it was, did I say my score? I'm giving it a 9. Naturon.
Okay, so for Hosea's, I think I'm gonna give it an 8. I kind of agree with some of the other people that the marination should have had a little bit more of a punch, like maybe a little bit more spice. But I did think it was cooked pretty well, and I did enjoy the flavor. Plantains were bomb. You guys think it was overcooked? I actually enjoyed the crunchiness. I don't know. I maybe a little bit of salt on them, but yeah.
Thank you.
7 overall for taste and flavor. I feel like the meat was definitely the highlight, which was really well tender. It was good flavor, had a lot of really good deep flavor in it. Tortillas, though, however, a little on the drier end. I wish it was a little saucy, maybe a little more cheesy. I think that could have really hit the spot if you, with the nicer tortillas, maybe softer side, saucy, cheesy. I think would have done the job.
So for Clayton taste, I actually give him an 8. I thought that the enchiladas were very good, and the variety of the savory red versus the sweet green was a nice thought because there wasn't something else on the plate that gave that sweetness to it. And I really like that the beef itself didn't overpower the sauce that you used on the enchiladas. So,
Thank you, Jeff.
I gave Clayton a 7. As the other judges have noted, meat was very good, tender. Like James mentioned, personally, I was hoping for a sloppy enchilada, a lot of sauce, a lot of cheese, but a little lacking in that department. So 7 overall.
All right. I will start off by saying I'm going to give Clayton also a 9. You can tell that that the meat was slow cooked and it really had all the flavors. And you started your presentation to us by saying the meat was the star of the show, and that certainly was true. And then I wanted to say that I did think that the green sauce was lacking. Could have done with a little bit more sauce, a little bit more flavor for that. The red sauce, the highs were higher for the red sauce, but overall really good.
All right, I give the enchiladas an 8. Kind of what everyone else said, like more sauce for sure. Meat was delicious. Cheese was good amount. Honestly, it was just maybe the sauce. If there was more sauce, I would give it like a 9, maybe even a 10. But yep.
John.
Presentation.
I don't know if I give a half point. I gave a 4.5 for John for presentation.
Counting.
I think I would have given a 5, to be honest. I think there's like the effort that went in there, right? The rice looked nice, like the chicken and the garnish was good, right? The only problem I had personally was I got a small ass chicken. That's why I had deducted the half point. Otherwise I would have given it a 5.
Skimping out on the chicken.
So for presentation, who are we going with first?
John.
Hosea. So I really liked your rice presentation. I thought you put a lot of thought into that because you added some height to your plate. So I really, really enjoyed that. The color on the plantains and the cereal chicken were also really great. So you can tell that you actually put effort and thought into plating your food. So I give it a 4.
Really good job. I'm not a 5.
So for all the reasons Charles listed, I gave it a 5. I thought it was a great presentation, great plating, and what was on top of the rice?
The salon.
Time?
I did it
Time.
with green onion as well as there was a time spring.
The time, time locked in that 5 for me.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, I mean, they've set it off. 5.
For the same reasons as the other guys, like presentation was great. Height, I appreciate that little feedback because that's like very true. A 5 for presentation for Hosea.
Thank you so much, judges.
I mean, it just came out sloppy, bro. Shit was everywhere. Cheese on the side of the plate. Didn't bother to clean it up. But I mean, like, I do appreciate, you know, the avocado, the cilantro, and the sour pimento. It was a good touch, but I think it could have been a little neat.
What did you give him?
3.
3. Okay.
So for me, Clayton, I will also be giving you a 3 for the exact same reasons as the previous judge. I really enjoyed the thought that you put into plating your food with the avocado and the sour cream on top. But there was cheese all over the plate. You didn't take the effort to clean or wipe the edges or at least pick it off. So for that, I'll give you a 3.
Fair enough.
I was so disgusted visually. I could hardly stomach it.
I think to be fair, I tried to give him like my best plated plate. I was like, okay, I gotta give him a shot. He's the toughest judge.
I'm sorry. Oh my god. Alright. I also gave a 3. I felt the presentation was lacking with just the giant avocado slice laid on top. Cream cheese spilled out. But 3.
All right.
I will say I didn't feel as harshly as the other judges. I did think it. I think you said you were inspired by Los Angeles flavors. I thought it looked like a street taco plate, you know, and I thought that kind of was part of the aesthetic you were going for. So 4 stars.
Wow.
I'm actually agreeing with Sunam. I did not find it as grotesque as others did. I think like it wasn't as nice as Jose's for sure, but like it had like garnishes and stuff on top of it, and maybe I got one of the better plates, but I'm gonna give it a 4.
Yes.
I give John a 3 on texture and consistency. I think, overall, I mean, the dishes went well together. Again, I think there's like some missing pieces. A small piece of chicken that I had, blend rice, and I mean, I did like the crispy plantain, but I think overall, just like overall consistency, was the average.
So for me, for the texture, I'm giving a 3 as well. Going back to the plantains, they were too crunchy, I believe, as well as dry. So like the flavor wasn't coming through. The rice was cooked very well, as well as the chicken. I think you said you seasoned overnight. So I think that you did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that was with dry herbs.
I did do a little bit. There was some liquid in there. There was a little bit of soy sauce. I used some vegetable oil. But there was a blend of spices in there. I probably maybe could have added a little more liquid to help support that.
No, I think it was good because the soy sauce as well as the spices really kept the meat tender with the brine. So good job.
What was the score?
3.
3.
Okay.
I'll also be giving it a 3. The plantains, again, I thought were a little overcooked, and the rice under seasoned. So inconsistent dish from top to bottom.
Sure.
I am going to go with I'm giving you a 4 for texture and consistency. If it was a chicken alone, it'd be 5. But the rice and the plantains, for similar reasons as everyone else, I agree they could have just been a little bit tighter.
Okay, so for Jose's dish, the plantains, I like the texture on that. I like the crispiness. Overall, like, I don't know, the overall texture wasn't like, oh my god, wow, but it was like solid, so I'm gonna give it a 4.
I gave also a 3 for Clayton. I think, again, the meat was pretty spot on. The tortillas weren't, however, not spot on. I think, I think the tortilla and the sauce, I think it could have been overall softer, right, along with the meat. So pretty average on 3 for me.
Okay.
So for me, I'm also giving a 3. I think that there could have been a little bit more sauce on the tortillas to cook through it. But I also did get a really big chunk of fat in the enchilada. And with enchilada, I believe you should have a lot more. It should be lean meat inside of there. So like the whole like 1/2 of my enchilada was just all fat.
It was 4 for me for Clayton. I thought the meat was consistent throughout, very well cooked. Again, if the enchiladas had been a little more saucy and less dry, it would have been a 5. But I thought overall it was very consistent, very, very well done.
Yes, I happen to agree with Jordan. I thought that the if it was for the meat alone, same as John's dish, it would have been a 5 stars. I'm giving it 4 stars because of the sauce. Could have had a little bit more, but I will say I saw you getting a little stressed in the kitchen. I thought that the tortillas were gonna throw your dish, but I didn't think they did. I thought that they were good.
Would have given it a 5. We can do half points because you did that. So I'm gonna give it a 4.5. The only thing was the sauce, and I didn't even think about it until I kind of like got remembered by these guys. But I do wish it was a little bit more saucier. But everything else in terms of texture was like fantastic. So 4.5.
2 more than bonus.
All right. I gave John a 4. I mean, immediately when I walked in, I was greeted by this aroma smell. I can tell there was a chicken cooking. I don't know if it did the meat, the beef as well. But overall, like the thyme, really, I think helped bring out the smell and the aroma with the dish. So I'll give it a 4.
I will also be giving it a 4 for those same reasons. I think the dry seasonings with the chicken really provided a pleasant and pungent aroma that was really enjoyable. So, thank you.
It's a 4 for me, dog. As stated, it was strong aromas and great, spices that were noticeable throughout the cooking process.
I'm going to give it a 5 because even just coming into the door, you could smell the chicken cooking outside, and it just made me so excited to try the dish, and it didn't disappoint.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 4 for Hosea. I feel like since I was already in this house when the cooking started, I didn't get that same vibe that you guys did when you guys came to the house, and like it was like a new smell. So I feel a little less strongly in that. I did get to smell the marinade though and stuff like that, and I kind of count that as my perception of the meal, and so it's a 4.
Aroma and smell. I gave it a 4 as well. The meat was again spot on. Love the dish over there. I think, that really overpowered a lot of the smell, and I think balanced everything pretty well. So 4 for me, dog.
I like everyone saying dog.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 3. I know. Wow. I think the meat smelled great. The enchiladas were a great aroma. But when I actually got my plate, I feel like I would have enjoyed a little bit more of a bolder beef smell coming from the enchiladas. So yeah.
Wow,
I
When's his Uber coming?
So I gave the enchiladas a 5 for aroma and smell. I think the biggest difference for me was just the strong smell from pulling it out of the oven to the plating. I was sitting there thinking, damn, this smells great, and I can't wait to dig in. I did not have as strong of a feeling with the chicken.
I completely agree. I'm also giving you a 5. I thought as soon as you started like assembling your quesadilla or enchilada, sorry. I was sold from there. It smelled perfect.
The beef smell was good. I think Jose's like chicken smell was better, but kind of what like you two said, like when it came out of the oven, I was just like, oh fuck, this is about to be hella good. It's a 5 for me.
I know the questions are there, but I want to give John a 5. Thank you for cooking for us. I really appreciate that. And honestly, it was nice to drive with the traffic here from San Francisco to be greeted by food immediately. So that was well appreciated. Thank you.
Happy to have a plate ready for you.
Small chicken.
Half a plate.
So for the execution, you're getting a 3 for it. I know. One of the things you have to do when you're cooking is tasting while you're cooking, and you did not have the salt in the rice. You added at the very end. So I'm also going to say that the plantains need to be fried in more oil and flipped more often. That way one side or the other isn't as cooked. So it's a little bit more soft and just, okay, cooking a technique, yeah.
Some of you use more Trogs things.
I really enjoyed how you cooked the chicken. You seared it to get the nice crisp on the skin and then cooked it in the oven. That way to keep it very moist. That's a good call for you when you're cooking that. And then also, you need to make sure when you are cooking skin chicken to put the seasoning also under the skin. So, a 3.
All right.
I gave it a 4, mostly because I'm unaware of most of the things Charles is talking about. I thought it was cooked well. Yeah, the biggest thing was again just I think the rice really hindered the overall dish, but I thought the chicken was nice and moist, and overall it had a strong like the dish worked together really well. It was just the rice that kind of brought that down.
I think you could give a master class in plating, and I think that's a big part of the technique, and it looked really good. I am going to give a 4.5 stars, and the half star deduction is just because I wish the exterior meat had a little bit more flavor. Just the meat had a little more flavor.
Okay, so for Jose's dish, for execution and technique, I'm gonna give it a 4. Overall, everything I thought was good. I do think I agree with someone said with like the rice, like that kind of messed things up a little bit for me, and so that could have been better executed. Yeah, the whole plantains thing, again, for me, I didn't really think about it as too crispy, so that was executed perfectly. So anyways, a 4.
Alright, for Clayton, I also give a 5 for the same reason. So thank you for obviously traveling all out here, cooking for us today. So I really appreciate it. It's more of an appreciation thing than the point. Well, 5 points from me.
There you go.
So for my execution, you're getting a 4. The beef was cooked very well, and I love that once it was finished in the oven, you charred it for that extra little crisp on the top. I think that really brought it up another level when it came to the beef. But with that, the beef was nearing the overcooked point, so I think taking it out of the oven just before it's ready and then broiling it would keep it a little bit more moist and tender.
It is tough with a shared oven, but
It's true.
I give a 4 for execution and technique. I thought the red and green sauce, as previously noted, great pairing. The only thing that brought it down was the avocado. I don't know if it just wasn't right, but it lacked a lot of flavor, so that was the only mispairing.
Yeah, to that point, maybe like sprinkling some salt on the avocado would have like brought a little bit more flavor out. That is not why, but I'm deducting a half point. So 4.5 stars, or I don't know if it's stars or points or whatever, but for the sauce, just primarily on the green. A little more sauce would have been.
I'm gonna give it a 4. I think that he did a good job. Yeah, the sauce didn't really get executed as well. I feel like, you know what? I feel like Swinky had more things to. Jose had more things to. He had more things to like. He like executed better on. But I will say for Clayton, I did feel like he came across more challenges. And instead of docking him for that, I actually like give him credit for like overcoming them. Like the whole like rolling of the tortillas, the cheese. You know, we had to like improvise and kind of call someone. So like I don't know, but I see that as you overcoming stuff. So I kind of. It would have been lower had not I saw that stuff. So, anyways.
2 points. 1 for the pairing of the drink. That was excellent. Went with the tropical theme, getting the rum drink. That was nice. And I'm giving a second point ahead because you said there was going to be dessert. So.
Deliver my second point. All right, that's an IOU point.
All right, check.
So I'm going to give you 3 points as well for my bonus points.
He said 2.
You said 2, so you want to give him 2 instead?
I cannot. I have to give him the 3 because I think the drink was a nice little bonus as well. But I think you really challenged yourself by having 3 different items on your plate. And I think managing a kitchen that's shared and having 3 things cooking at once while doing a drink just kind of shows like that extra step.
I'm 3 points as well for many of the same reasons. But also was the dish was plated quite a bit before Clayton. So I did count the timing element into it. Maybe that could have been execution, but I counted it as a bonus. We'll see.
Or I have to give it a 3 points here because from the moment we walked in, it was like, oh, here's your drink. Food's coming right up. Like you really were on top of it, and it showed. So compliments to the chef.
Okay, so for bonus for Jose, I'm giving him a 3. I think a lot of the stuff has already been said. Definitely the more showman guy or whatever, and drinks, dessert, all that stuff. So
Let's see. Bonus points for Clayton. I gave him a 1 out of 3. The 1 point did come from the diversity of the sauces, even though it could have been more. But I did like the both red and the green that came around the dish, so that was actually a point for me.
All right, so for me, I'm going to give you 2 points in my bonus. I think the enchiladas were a great dish. Everyone loves them. But I do wish there would have been a side dish included, whether it was like rice or beans or just something to bring a whole thing together. So
I have to agree. I was hoping for a side of rice or maybe beans. But I am giving 2 points because of the extensive travel from LA. I think you do have to take that into consideration.
Couldn't overcook any, over marinate overnight.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
I was here yesterday, guys, so.
still take the point away.
I'm going to also give 2 points. One of those points is because when your meat came off the stove and it was like sizzling, the crowd, like all of us were like, damn, that looks fire. And second, because I thought it was cool that your dish had drew inspirations from where you're from.
Okay, so for Clayton, I'm giving him a 2. Although he didn't have as much of the the drinks here, this, that. I appreciated the shade he was throwing at Hosea and some of the friendly banter that was going on, and I think that's kind of fun. Plus he traveled too, so good point, Jose or Mifflin. Big round of applause.
Good job. So,
Yes.
this is a great competition. I feel like it was a race the entire time.
It was. And if we include all the scores minus bonus, who
Man, this is a really tough competition. I felt like the entire time I had a lot of things to juggle in this process. I'm, very happy that I tried to extend myself so much because I really feel like having to try and put so much organization on my plate really actually saved me in the end. There were some things I would definitely work on and do better next time, specifically the rice, tasting that, and the things about not a lot of talk anymore. That's it.
Were you surprised by any categories?
I think I was surprised by the aroma category for myself. I really, when I was making the jerk marinade, I remember smelling that and being like, I feel like I have that one in the bag. This is such a delicious smelling marinade. And so I think, I'm pretty sure that was one of the ones I actually lost to Clayton about. Yeah.
So I was gonna critique mine and then critique his.
Go for it. Do what you want.
So I think for me, I agree with the sauce. That was the first thing I said. Was fuck, should I put more sauce on it? But I didn't want to make it soggy. So that was tough. That's my biggest critique of mine. And I also would have started earlier. One, to get the meat more tender, because I was in there for 2.5 hours. Honestly, 3.5 hours would have been fantastic. And, I had my customers waiting. For Hosea, I do agree. That's just
You want me to critique yours? Yeah, fucking dry ass tortillas, bro. All right, yeah, go pan over to him.
I liked the plantains, but I would call that more like a plantain chip, not something that I would get at a restaurant and have a real juicy plantain.
Yeah.
The rice, I'm not gonna comment anymore on the rice. I like the chicken, but I agree with what someone said. the first bite was really good, but I would have liked a sauce, like a jerk sauce, to go with the chicken. Because when you start biting in and you get closer to the bone and there's no season on it, then you got a nice sauce to go in there and nibble around instead of just regular
Should put
chicken.
more on my plate. Yeah.
TOB loves the jerk sauce.
Yeah. As far as the scoring, I think it was fair. I will say I will submit a recall just based on the bonus points alone, because I was not told that I needed a drink or a dessert.
You didn't need one. It's extra,
And I
right?
feel like extra credit, kind of some bullshit. But all things aside, that was fun.
Yeah.
You know, glad everyone.
100%.
The thing is, like,
I
it was
would not
really
feed
good.
this to a kid. It's like, this is food?
You're gonna announce the results, right? Because you
Okay,
have.
yeah.
All right.
So I kind of want to audit these results, to be honest, because I thought it was going to be a lot closer. But I'll go category by category. So taste, Hosea won taste by 1 point. 40 points. To
That's the most important one.
39.
I thought it was.
That's really close though. Presentation. There's a bigger differential here. John won 23.5 points to Clayton 17.
Wow.
Texture. Clayton beat out Texture 18.5 points to 17 from Hosea. Clayton also beat out Aroma 22 points to Hosea's 21. And then the last one that Clayton beat out, also Execution and Technique, 21.5 to Hosea's 20.5. So another 1 point differential there. This had a big part of why the winner.
Big swing.
Hosea won the bonus category, 14 points to Clayton's 9, and overall won the cook-off, 136 to 127.
Good job, bud.
There it is. There it
It was a
is.
hell of a competition.
It was fun. It was
A lot of
fun. Everyone's a good chef, okay?
I have some points to deliver on right now.
where's that
I have
dessert,
some
pal?
IOU for dessert, huh?
Oh!
Honestly, like, I just watched it at home, dude. Ooh, look at that.
Shrug, you cool, doing it.
Yo, chill. Chill. Looks pretty good, Charles.
I think you're doing the right things, though. Yeah.
We got an omelet going, and what are you making, Swanky?
I'm just gonna make some country potatoes, breakfast potatoes, garlic, jalapeno,
You
onion.
guys know the competition's over, right?
We don't do this for competition. This is just the way
This is
life.
who you are.
I need redemption actually, so this is a competition. One down.
Getting nervous there, pal? I was kidding.